You there? You're still awake. Wake up. No, nothing's wrong. Pretty sure those voices are just your roommates, neighbors, something like that. It's just me. How are you feeling? I hope I didn't wake you from some especially pleasant dream. You're too sweet. So, listen, I got this really strange transmission appointment of some sort. It's hard really to explain, but I was wondering if I could borrow your phone. Oh, I won't do anything strange with it. It's just the easiest way for me to get a list of what I have to do. No, don't worry about it. It's it'll make sense in a bit. Okay. So how does it work? Well, I'm not used to doing things by touch. Oh, that's really bright. Let's see. No, I don't need to log in anywhere. It's all just right here. It's too complicated to explain, so we'll just call it ghost magic. So it's really hard to explain this, but I'm going to tell you about a couple things about me and my life, and I might even answer some questions that you might have actually had about me and how I came to be. And then I'm going to list some names of people. They're pretty important. And after that, I'm going to do a couple things to make you relax or fall back asleep. So, okay. The questions, it's gonna be pretty weird. I don't always feel comfortable talking about myself, and I'm way better at keeping an eye on other people and concerning myself with their fates. But anyway, here we go. Are you always a friendly ghost, or do you sometimes go around scaring people just for fun? I wouldn't really say scaring people. And all things considered, I guess I'm pretty friendly, but I'm not above playing tricks and having a little bit of fun sometimes. But I would never hurt someone or intentionally scare them too much. I know there are some beings like me that do, but I don't really associate myself with them at all, really. How old are you, in dead years, of course. Not sure if that's a question that you should be asking a lady. You know, time works differently, and I know that's such a cop-out, but it does. Time, it's hard. Sometimes what I feel are mere days, and months have gone by, and stuff like that, but it's been a couple of decades. Why have you not crossed over yet? Is there something you wish to accomplish before you do? I doubt I ever really will. In a way, I've kind of dedicated myself to this existence where I am, in a way, tethered to this world through you now, but if you'd wish to break that bond, I'm sure I could find a new tether. Just something about being able to be there for people, being able to be a comfort, someone they can talk to, someone they feel like they're watching over them. Maybe that's what I have to accomplish. Though I'm not sure if that's something that I can ever finish. Did you get to choose to be a ghost when you died? Are you able to go anywhere, or are you bound to a certain place? I would say that, in a way, I chose this, but it's more of a subconscious thing. It's not like they meet you at some sort of gates and they tell you, hey, so what you want to do? But I guess part of me chose this, or maybe it just had to do with the circumstances of my death. I'm not sure. And I'm able to go pretty much everywhere, but it's a lot easier for me to go to places that I'm bound to, or people that I'm bound to, and it seems that places where I have vivid memories are they're easy to go to. Stuff like that, but it would just take more effort, I suppose. And generally, energy is not something I have a lot of, so I try not to expend it wastefully. Have you ever known of another ghost or wraith like yourself, becoming semi-corporeal, and if you wondered what could happen if you became any more corporeal? I guess I haven't really. It's not something that's easy to really talk about. You don't really go up to your friends and, well, maybe that's different when you're dead, but I can't exactly call them up, you know? Anyway, it's not something that I've heard of in legends or passing. I don't worry about it, but sometimes I feel it's better to try to stop myself from worrying about things. There's this thing that I've always heard, that if it's something you can do something about, you should just do it. And if it's something that you can't do anything about, there's no reason to worry anyway. So, yeah, I try not to worry, but it's easier said than done, of course. What do you miss most, or least, about having a body. Well, it is nice to be able to go practically anywhere and spy on people, be invisible. It's entertaining in a way, but it does get lonely. I do have you to connect with, of course, but there are a lot of things that I miss out on, a lot of connections and things. And the time thing, it's hard to have goals or things to look forward to when time has little meaning. When you are not manifested, are you still in the mortal plane but gathering strength? Or do you occupy some other type of reality? Well, I would argue that I'm never really in the mortal plane. I'm always somewhere in between. Some sort of... I believe there are many words for it, and most have a rather negative meaning. And it's not all that bad, really. It's no eternal damnation or some sort of torturous existence at all. Quite the contrary. But, there are ways where I can shut myself off more completely. Maybe that's where a lot of those times go, where I just kind of shut myself off and float into nothingness, which sounds more terrifying than it is, really. I don't know if that makes any sense. What's your favorite pastime? This is gonna sound super cliche, but I really love watching over you. But in general, just protecting, being there, giving comfort. And even when you don't know that I am, I always try to keep an eye out and make sure you're safe and secure, feeling okay. I try anyway. Are there just as many questions to the afterlife as there are to life, or is it a place with final answers and resolution? Oh boy. If that's what you're expecting, no, there's... Even I know very, very little. I wouldn't say that I know much more than the average, non-dead person. But there is, for a lot of souls here, there's peace, and rest, and comfort. It's not something you can really compare to life, but it's not bad, Not really bad anyway. I'm not making much sense, but the point is, it's not like you cross over and suddenly you have all the answers and all the wisdom. Not at all. I'm sorry if that's what you were hoping, but... What is it like to walk through a wall? If it's a really thick wall, it gets a little bit claustrophobic, but generally you're able to cross through pretty quickly, and it's not that bad, really. It helps if you close your eyes. Even before I was able to touch things more, especially with you around, even then it felt like a bit of a tingle passing through something or someone accidentally. Mostly I try not to do that on purpose. Are people still scared around ghosts nowadays, or has it gotten harder to spook people? Sometimes when I show myself either accidentally or just for the first time. Sometimes people don't take it too well, but generally I'm able to make them believe they're dreaming or something like that, and try again at a later date, slowly and maybe a little bit more subtle. But yeah, people are definitely still pretty easy to spook. Are we becoming a sin eater, or am I reading too much into this? Is that one of your anime things? Those are the cartoons, right? I'm not sure. I don't know. I think you might be reading into it a little bit too much. Have you ever met Beetlejuice, and would you recommend his services to ghosts who may have a rough time with their living counterparts? I wish I could tell you yes, because he is quite a character, from what I've seen anyway, but I'm very sorry to tell you that that is just a movie. There are sometimes when people like me have trouble with the ones they're tethered to, but generally it does tend to resolve itself, mostly with the ghost just moving on, and letting their, whatever you want to call it, just move on with their life. It's for some reason quite easy for people to forget us, which, if anything, it makes things a lot easier sometimes. Anyway, what are you doing all day or whenever you're not visiting us? Well, I told you about the realm or state I guess I can be in where I'm just floating in nothingness, which is what I do for a considerable amount of time. Sometimes I contact others like me and we talk and give each other updates of sorts. It's strange, with them it's way harder to connect than with the living, strangely. Because we are mostly stuck to places and people to keep us existing. So it's with them that we feel most alive. So talking to others like me, it's more like talking to a memory of some kind. It's strange. I prefer the living, generally. Seems like you enjoy rummaging through the belongings of people you haunt. Have you ever found something so weird, wacky, creepy that you just nope the hell out of there? I have definitely come across my fair share of strange things. Even you have some questionable items in your room. But I've learned that things like that, it's all just part of human nature. Everyone has strange things in their closet. Nothing really bothers me to the point of noping out anyway. Have you ever met someone who actively tried to summon you? Well, I've bonded with people in the past, and they would summon me after they've known me. Neither direct or not so direct ways, and so have you, but I'm not sure. I feel like we're more assigned to people, if anything. It doesn't feel like either of us has any control over it. It just kinda It just kind of happens. I don't want to say it's fate, but that is kind of what it feels like. Oh well. That was all the questions. I hope I'm not boring you with this, am I? Good. So, I'm going to come in pretty close, if that's okay. And I'm going to whisper some names. Just don't question it. Let it happen. The only thing that I can tell you is that these people, they're pretty important. Okay. Demon A, Drew S, Sierra, Jerry H, Spart, Ryan J, Leighton C, Josh C, Cody Annan, Lawrence B, Isabella R, Stephen E, Josh Rum, Tyler S, Alvin T, Randy M, Eric F, Derek L.S., Alessandra T, Caleb C, Master Pam, Jacob C, Oyvind T, Sundiver, Sense Emporium, Derek H, Luke A, Ian K.S., Bo L, Bob V, Ross C, MD, XL, Luke A, Randall F, Myra Chu, Patrick, a la carte de man, Adam, Nico L, Dale, Connor M, Vondel N, Bobby S, Bloody X Nocturne, John G, Corey M, James C, Jonathan A, Midnight, Cassandra G, Zerothian, Victor L, Lord Benjamin Salt, Snufkin Nate, Strumtund, Viper F, Eric G, Michael, Shogun 42, Kevin M, Sakyo, James S, Cadian, Harris G, Cameron R, Joseph G, Phil Metal, Marcellus A, Taylor Poe, Courtney, Bongertons, Ryan B, Jake C. I know, it's quite a list, and we're all very important. Now, I'm just going to have to lean away for a second. You just keep doing what you're doing. And I hope that's getting more relaxed. That is part of the goal here. Yep. Thank you. So, now I'm gonna treat you to some relaxation. I'm pretty sure you're okay with that. Good. Let's see. I'm just gonna make some sounds that I hope are gonna make you sleepy. The feeling of someone running their nails on my skin. Just one of those things, you know. Especially when someone traces on your back. I'd fall asleep so deeply if someone did that. Gosh, it's so easy to make you drowsy. You always fall asleep so quickly when I'm here. I just want to tell you now that it's okay if you do fall asleep. I won't be offended at all. I just want to get you some nice rest and relaxation. I'm pretty sure you're cool with that. Let's see. It's still such a trip that I can just touch you like this. Tell me if I'm too rough. I'm glad that this is enabling us to spend some time together. I really enjoy being with you. So what I'm gonna do is some more whispering, some ear brushing, and scratching